I went to the front lines of the war in Ukraine, but to be more precise, I actually went to the front lines inside Russia, because I crossed over the international border into the Kursk incursion, which is one of the most dangerous 800 square kilometers in the world. We're in Kursk right now, in Russia. This is also where over 10,000 North Korean soldiers are stationed, some 40,000 Russian soldiers. This is the direction where Americans just recently approved ATACMS missiles to be fired here. If you're not aware, in August 2024, Ukraine shocked the world with a surprise invasion where they captured a chunk of Russian territory that they've been battling to hold on to ever since. The stakes couldn't be higher for Ukrainian forces, who are hoping to use this land as a bargaining chip in future peace negotiations. Meanwhile, Russia's throwing everything they have at them to deprive them of this leverage. Ukrainian forces have withdrawn from roughly 40% of the territory that they once held in August, from 1,250 kilometers down to about 800 kilometers today. My mission is to speak directly with Ukrainian soldiers to find out what it's really like to operate deep inside enemy territory, to interview Russian civilians who are now grappling with the shocking reality of the conflict arriving at their own doorstep. How has the Ukrainian military treated you? We'll also hear from a high-ranking Ukrainian government official about the geopolitics of the war, and to find out with my own two eyes what's really happening on the ground. If this is your first time watching the channel, welcome. My name is Chris Kappi. I'm your average infantryman. I was a lower enlisted, regular old 19-year-old grunt in the US Army when I deployed to Iraq. This is my first time back in a war zone in over 15 years. On a personal level, this report is kind of my attempt to find closure with my own complicated relationship with war, which left me questioning my role in the conflict. So while I've been away in Ukraine, my team and I still manage to post a new video each week, and the only way I could accomplish this is thanks to Odoo, which is the best all-in-one business management software. It's a must-have for any upstart entrepreneur who's trying to build out a small business while juggling a million different things. Odoo helped me tackle tons of dry, menial managerial tasks like dealing with expenses and reporting while I was away. All the stuff that takes valuable time away from the creative part of YouTube that I love doing. Odoo does this by using their suite of more than 45 easy-to-use applications that touch on everything from invoicing and sales to inventory and website creation. It uses built-in features like AI integration and Smart Button, which is my favorite feature. It lets you gain quick insights without having to navigate away from your current view. And the best part is you get your first Odoo application for free for life. That includes hosting and support, and I can confirm that once you see how much time Odoo saves you, you'll want to get more and to make your job even easier. If you want to supercharge your productivity so you can focus on the parts of your business that you love, click the link in the description or the pinned comment below the video to create your free database today. Even just my journey to Russia was eye-opening to me, in terms of the logistics and just seeing how the sausage is made. We met early in the morning on the side of the road in the closest Ukrainian city of Sumy. We would travel in a Canadian-provided Senator armored vehicle, which was a blessing and a curse at the same time because it's more protected, but anything worth more than like $15,000 is a magnet for explosive drone attacks, or so I'm told.
Броньована техніка в цільному ряду.
Armored vehicles are number one aim.
High value target.
Yeah. So the most dangerous part of the route between the border control point and the Sucha, because the route is enemy gun control and the FPV range.
The operation that they have here is insane. Just seeing the amount of material and manpower that they're pumping into this region is very impressive. From what I observed, is that for as far as the eye can see, logistics trucks carrying fuel, water, food, ammunition, and troops into the fight 24/7 day and night. I was surprised to see that about 70% of the logistics vehicles I observed in the Kursk direction are a hodgepodge of repurposed civilian cars and trucks. They often repainted them matte green and slapped a few triangle symbols onto them to show that they're military related. We drove from Sumy towards Kursk, which is roughly 60 kilometers away. We set off along the same exact supply route that sustains troops at the front. There is only one way in and out of Kursk, and there's a choke point that's been zeroed in by Russian artillery fire.
The enemy made more than 13,000 cells in this area, so this is the
Керованих авіабомб. Да, хлопці заникали за
So we're crossing over into the Russian territory now?
Yeah. Already Russian territory.
We just crossed the border into Russian territory. We're in Kursk now. And this is, I think, one of the more dangerous parts of the trip, going to Suja. We were now well within Russian artillery and FPV drone range, and this section, this choke point, entering their country was a main target for strikes. This is my first time in Russia. Probably one of my last times in Russia, because I don't think that they're going to let me into Moscow after this. I was warned by Ukrainian officials that by choosing to report from inside Russian territory, I'd now be put on a list by the Kremlin and potentially arrested if I ever traveled to a country that's friendly to them. I was advised to not go to Venezuela or Uzbekistan anytime soon. This was an intimidation tactic to make journalists think twice about drawing attention to a part of the war that's seen as kind of embarrassing for Russia.
So here we should be very fast.
Are we getting out now?
Yeah. Let's open one.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
The artillery fire is very close. Their position's got to be within 50 meters of here. I could see how the Russian civilians were desensitized.